The following evening, Arinze arrived at Chamo's residence. He was both nervous and excited. Unsure of what to expect, Chamo greeted and welcomed him into his mansion. Arinze, you asked to know the secret to success. But I must warn you, what you're about to hear isn't easy to accept. Chamo recounted his story. He spoke of the sacrifices he had made, the moral compromises and the dark rituals that had led to his wealth. And to Arinze's horror, Chamo revealed a part of his body covered in decaying flesh, writhing with maggots. This is the price I paid for my wealth. I thought it was worth it at the time, but now I live with constant pain and regret. Once upon a time in Amago, there lived a young man whose name was Arinze. He was the first child of his parents, who were poor farmers in their village. As the first child, he knew he had to work hard to secure a good life for himself, and so he decided to travel to the city in search of a greener pasture. One morning, Arinze left Amago with his small bag slung over his shoulder as he journeyed to the city of Asaba. Life in the city of Asaba was quite different from the life he was used to in the village. Finding a place to stay was difficult for him because he had little money with him. Arinze wandered the streets, asking for affordable place to stay. He knew this was his chance to build a better life, to escape the cycle of poverty that had trapped his family for generations, and so he couldn't give up. After a long search, he managed to secure a small room in a crowded tenement, where he shared space with several other young men who had also come to the city in search of greener pastures. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Amongst his roommates was Ofoma, a barrow pusher, Onyeka, the mirror hawker who sold mirror in the day and played music at clubs in the night as an intending music artist, and Emeka, a bus conductor. Arinze had no money with him to venture into buying and selling, and so he tirelessly searched for work. He went to schools in search of a security job and faced rejections which were numerous and discouraging, but he refused to give up. He was persistent, and his determination got him a job at a local car wash. The car wash was owned by Omokoro. It was a hard work, but Arinze was grateful for the opportunity. He arrived early every morning, dressed in his clean and pressed uniform, ready to scrub, polish, and shine customers' cars. His humility and willingness to go extra mile was visible in his approach to his work. He greeted every customer with a welcoming smile, and they appreciated his friendly demeanor. Before long, he became the most requested washer at the car wash. Regular customers began to request for him to wash their car. Amongst them was Chamo, a wealthy businessman known for his generosity. Chamo's black Mercedes was a frequent visitor to the car wash, and he always tipped Arinze generously, regardless of the long hours and meager pay. Arinze remained happy in his work. Every day to him was a step closer to his dreams, and he cherished the relationships he was building. His thoughts often wandered back to his family in the village, and he vowed to bring them joy and comfort no matter how small. He resumed work every day with a smile on his face and attracted more customers to him. Chamo in particular took a liking to him, often engaging him in conversations while his car was being washed. Arinze, you work too hard. You remind me of myself when I was younger. Keep up the good work. Tomorrow will be greater. Take this money and buy yourself a lunch. Oh, thank you very much, sir. I am grateful for your recognition and the extra money. Arinze saved every tip he got from the car wash and added it to his growing fund for his family's Christmas gifts. One day, Arinze returned from work and met his friend Onyeka and Emeka, the mirror hawker and the bus conductor, leaving the house with their bags. When he asked them where they were going to, they told him they were traveling to Ghana for a better life. Arinze was surprised. Because he was hearing that for the first time, he wished them well and helped them carry their bags to the bus stop. Weeks turned into months and it was Christmas. Arinze decided to return to his village. He had managed to save a little money, enough to buy some things for his family. The thought of seeing their faces filled him with joy. When he finally arrived, he was greeted with open arms. His mother wept tears of joy and his siblings clung to him, excitedly chattering about everything he had missed. The village was crowded with the return of its sons and daughters. Arinze's friends, who had also gone to the city around the same time he did, were back for the holidays. As they gathered to catch up, he was struck by the stark differences in their circumstances. There was Chika, who had just moved into his new house in the village. He proudly showed them around his modern spacious home and spoke of his successful business ventures. Nonso arrived in his own car, a red Toyota Camry that turned heads as it rolled through the village. Others spoke of new jobs, investments, and the comfort they had acquired. Arinze, though happy for his friends, felt as though he had been left behind, struggling while they had found their footing. Christmas Eve in Amago was always an excitement of activity. The village square was adorned with colorful lights and decorations. Children ran about with sparkles, and the air was filled with the sound of laughter and music. Families prepared a feast and neighbors dropped by to share in the festivities. As night fell, the community gathered for the annual Christmas service. The village square, illuminated by candlelight, was packed with villagers singing carols and offering prayers. Arinze felt a sense of peace as the weight of his worries momentarily lifted. After the gathering, Arinze and his friends strolled through the village, reminiscing about their childhood and sharing stories from their lives in the city. Chika said to Arinze, "You know, Arinze, it's not about how quickly you succeed. You've always been the most hardworking and honest one among us. Your time will come." Arinze appreciated the words of encouragement, and as the season came to an end, he returned to the city to continue to work hard. He also knew that he needed to find new opportunities to advance his life. As he journeyed back to the city, he reflected on his life as he thought about his friends' successes and his own path. He knew that while he was proud of his hard work, he needed to take more proactive steps to change his circumstances. He got to Asaba and continued with his work at the car wash with even greater vigor. He worked hard and saved as much as he could. He also began to think about other ways to improve his situation. One evening, while he was rounding up with work at the car wash, a sleek grey Venza drove into the car wash. To his surprise, it was his roommates Onyeka and Emeka, who had traveled to Ghana for greener pastures. It had been 7 months since they left Asaba and had achieved so much within this short period. They told him all they've been able to accomplish since they left. As they talked, Emeka noticed Arinze's silence. "Hey Arinze, what's on your mind? You've been awfully quiet." "I'm just listening, Emeka. I'm really happy for you both. It's inspiring to see how far you both have come." "You will get there too, Arinze. We all have our own pace. Just keep working hard," Onyeka assured him. One morning, as Arinze was cleaning Chamo's latest luxury car, he made a decision. He had admired Chamo's success from afar for too long, and it was time to seek guidance directly. Summoning his courage, he approached Chamo. "Chamo, may I have a word with you?" Chamo looked up from his phone, surprised. "Of course, Arinze." "Sir, you always tip me generously. I am grateful for that. But I've been thinking, this job, while it's good, doesn't seem to have a bright future. I need your help, sir. I want to know how to make a better life for myself." Chamo chuckled, but seeing the earnest look on Arinze's face, his expression turned serious. Arinze, many young men ask for help, but few understand the cost of success. Are you sure you want to know? Yes, sir. I saw my friends back in the village and those that we all live together here in Asaba. They've moved ahead and I feel like I'm falling behind. Please, sir, show me the way. Chamo looked at him for a moment and handed him a business card. Visit me tomorrow evening. We will talk more then. The following evening, Arinze arrived at Chamo's residence. He was both nervous and excited. Unsure of what to expect, Chamo greeted and welcomed him into his mansion. Arinze, you asked to know the secret to success. But I must warn you, what you're about to hear isn't easy to accept. Chamo recounted his story. He spoke of the sacrifices he had made, the moral compromises and the dark rituals that had led to his wealth. And to Arinze's horror, Chamo revealed a part of his body covered in decaying flesh, writhing with maggots. This is the price I paid for my wealth. I thought it was worth it at the time, but now I live with constant pain and regret. If I could turn back time, I would choose a different path. Arinze was shocked and speechless. The image of Chamo's decaying body was seared into his mind. He realized that the glamorous life he had envied came at a terrible cost. Chamo placed a hand on Arinze's shoulder. I've watched you work. You have integrity and strong work ethic. Trust in that. There is dignity in honest labor. Don't be tempted by shortcuts that lead to ruin. Think about it, and if this is still the path you want, I will lead you. Arinze left Chamo's house with heavy heart but a clearer mind. Arinze returned to work with a newfound sense of clarity and determination. Chamo's revelation had shaken him deeply, but it also fortified his resolve to succeed through honest means. Arinze dedicated himself to his job at the car wash, focused on providing excellent service and saved as much money as he could. He worked relentlessly and one day, the owner of the car wash, Umukoro, called him into his office. Arinze, I've been observing you. Your dedication and the way you interact with our customers are exemplary. I want to offer you a promotion to shift supervisor. Thank you, sir. I won't let you down. The promotion came with a fair raise, but more importantly, it gave Arinze a greater sense of responsibility and pride. He continued to work diligently, learning more about the business and saving diligently. Months passed and his savings grew. He began to research what it would take to start his own car wash. He scouted locations, compared equipment prices, and even took a small business management course in the evenings. And there he learned how to produce car wash and engine oil. After a year of planning, saving, and learning, he leased a small plot of land on the outskirts of the city and set up his own car wash. He produced car wash, which was used in his car wash. His former clients from Umukoro's car wash followed him. Because of the trust they had in him, Arinze's business flourished over time. He hired and trained his workers to attend to their work diligently. His reputation brought in a steady stream of customers from day one. He ensured his workers were treated with the respect and fairness he had always hoped for. His car wash became known for its excellent service and friendly atmosphere. Soon he began mass production of his car wash, which was not only used in his car wash but sold across the state. He also invested in engine oil production, and his engine oil was of top quality. At the end of the year, he decided to visit his village once more. This time, he traveled not with feelings of inadequacy, but with a sense of accomplishment and peace. He had succeeded on his terms through hard work and integrity. Upon returning to the village, He was greeted with pride. His family marveled at how far he had come, and friends gathered to see him. However, their visit was with sad stories. Arinze learned that many of his friends, who had seemingly prospered the previous years, had faced dire consequences. Chike had been arrested for cyber fraud, and the most shocking news was about his closest friend, Nonso. Nonso had mysteriously run mad, and rumors swirled about his involvement in dark rituals. It was said that he had used his own sister, who had been missing for 3 years, in a gruesome ritual for wealth. Arinze felt so bad for his friend's predicaments and decided to share his story to give strength to the weak. He told them everything he went through in the city, how he was tempted to seek wealth by any means possible because of his friend's successes, and how Chamo's revelation saved him from a lifetime pain. I went to the city with dreams of success, and while the path was not easy, I learned that the true measure of wealth is not just in money but in the respect and relationships we build along the way. He assured them that hard work, honesty, and integrity are the cornerstones of lasting success, as he advised them not to be tempted by the glitter of easy wealth, for it often comes with a price too steep to bear. Arinze employed youths from his village to work in his car wash, and as the years passed by, he built a branch of his car wash and engine production company in his hometown and gave job opportunities to his people. Arinze remained grateful to Chamo for letting him know the truth before it was too late. Arinze did not only build a successful business, but he had also earned the respect of the society, as he moved from one podcast to another, assuring youth that there is dignity in honest labor, while emphasizing on the need to stay true to one's hard work and not be pushed into evil by the success of their peers. Hello, favorite one. Thanks for listening to my stories. Your support means the world to me, and I couldn't do this without you. Your likes, comments, and shares keep me motivated to create more stories. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss out on any of my new stories. Thanks again, and see you in the next story.